What's the weirdest thing a woman has told you means, "You're not a real man"? I had a date recently. We were in the arcade and I chose a female character in a beat 'em up. She went off saying those are in the game just for little girls to use and a real man wouldn't do that. Thought she was joking, she meant it. My first wife told me that I wasn't a real man because I wouldn't hit her. Couldn't get out of that marriage fast enough. Thankfully we didn't have kids, so I never saw or heard from her again. This was years and years ago. I'm a single dad, and my daughter really wanted to try out hair braids. I tried to braid her hair, but I'm all thumbs, and despite having long hair myself, it was never something I picked up. A lot of the women I know have some great hair braids, so when they'd come over they'd often braid my daughter's hair and sometimes mine. So I found one of those courses that teaches general hair stuff, including how to braid hair. Now the class was mostly women, of course, so whatever. I was just there during some free time to learn how to do this. It didn't take more than a few days for a few of the women in there to make comments about it being weird or strange that I was willing to learn how to braid my kid's hair and style it like she wanted. Full-blown comments on my intentions of being there and questions about how much of a man I really am. No, fuck you. Making my kid happy does not make me less of a man, it makes me a better dad. Edit. Yeah, it's this cliché bit, but I've gotten a lot more attention on this than I ever expected. Don't let anyone tell you what being a real man is, just be yourself. As a dad, my focus is on doing the best I can by them, and making sure they know I'm always around for them. If it means I needed to pretend to drink tea from a princess cup, or pretend to have a love for Fortnite, then I'll go ahead and do it to make them happy. I have big hands, so when I'm forced to hold a small cup by the handle I put my pinky finger out so my hand doesn't cramp up from smashing all my fingers in there to hold it. My wife says in disgust that it makes me look girly. I always respond, "If you care so much then get me a bigger cup." There's a bra-size joke to be made here, but I can't quite figure it out. If your cans make my hands look like Andre the Giant holding a beer, then you're too small to ride this ride. Because I don't talk down to waiters, servers, I wasn't displaying dominance. That date ended before it began. Didn't happen to me, but I remember a while ago, there was a debate amongst friends about first date etiquette. We agreed that if the man asked the woman out, it would be safe to assume he is paying, but they should talk about it. One of the girls brings up how she recently went on a date and the guy paid for part of the bill with a gift card. Think "Let us entertain you" or something like that. He was a member that received a ton of rewards for reviews and frequent dining. She was just up in arms while the rest of us just waited for her to finish. That was it. She said he wasn't a man because he had to use gift cards to pay. What? Who the hell cares how the bill is paid for? There's a reason why she was absolutely single for years. Had a woman over for a home-cooked dinner. She asked who cleans my house and how much they cost as I started to make dinner. I told her I don't pay someone to clean my house, I just always pick up after myself. She told me real men don't clean or cook. Didn't even make it to dinner before I asked her to leave. She started freaking out and saying shit like, "You know it's the 2020s now, it's okay to just come out of the closet and get yourself some dick all because I keep a clean house. People are fucking insane." I wore an apron while cooking. Drinking a Coke with lunch at work in Berlin. German woman in her 50s comes in the room. "You are drinking a Coke?" "My husband would never drink a Coke, it's not a monstrink." Well, I'm sorry, his fragile masculinity doesn't allow him to enjoy delicious beverages. Guten Mittagessen. Edit. Thanks for the award, kind human. She was obese and I wasn't attracted to her. She aggressively hit on me and I told her politely I wasn't interested. With no explanation given on my part, she immediately jumped to something along the lines of "Real men find thick women like myself hot as fuck." I told her to go find one of those guys. A woman said to me once that because I was below 5 feet 7 inches I wasn't a real man, lol. Damn. At 5 feet 6, I'm gonna have to figure out how to break this to my wife and kids. Obviously, it's the only way I can look her in the eye. Edit. A word. Reddit keeps insisting these women don't exist and it's all just insecurities in a guy's mind. Sorry, brah, but just because you don't know anyone who says that doesn't mean we haven't met them. Been getting most of my life, I'm 5 feet 4 inches. I am 5 feet 5, can relate. Like I get if a woman has preferences and I respect that, but if she is like, what do you call a guy under 6 feet? A child, that's just toxic. I'm just existing, ma'am. I never thought I would ever be a real man, but recently I made the advancement. 5 feet 8. Please expect your certified real man card in the mail within 10 to 15 business days. Because I didn't want to change my car oil myself and took it to the dealership. FYI, at the time I was in my first engineering job as test engineer for jet engines and was helping assemble prototypes in a wind tunnel. Clearly I have no mechanical ability. One super nice woman informed me that if my flaccid penis couldn't helicopter, I wasn't a real man. Dick size shaming and harassment are super fucked up. Slitte. Slitte. Enjoying gaming in general. Apparently I need to grow up and invest my money in something that matters. I enjoy gaming, so that matters to me. I work hard at my job for 50 to 60 hours a week. Why shouldn't I do something that I enjoy? My ex-girlfriend was cheating on me with a guy who jogs. She said I wasn't a real man because I do jiu-jitsu, literally fighting other men, instead of jogging. Jiu-jitsu is just murder hugging. Angry cuddling. Folding clothes with the person still inside them. Next time someone shames you for learning how to fight, describe it that way and see what happens. I get pedicures. I was in the military and I had frostbite in my toes during a deployment, so I want my nails to be healthy. Plus, it's my effin' business. A female colleague heard about it and asked me, do I get my V at Gina waxed too? She basically went around saying I'm not a man because I get my toes cleaned and treated by a professional. I was all in love with this one girl, but she was always dating other guys and was mostly stringing me along for favors. One night while they were out, her man got arrested and needed someone to pick up his car. It was a stick shift, so she couldn't drive it, so I showed up. For the goddamn life of me I couldn't drive it either. I grew up on manuals and he had an old VW Bug. I basically couldn't get it beyond first gear and would stall out each time. She was livid. After a few minutes she started yelling and said, I knew I should have called a real man for this. She ended up calling her ex, and I stuck around out of curiosity to see what I was doing wrong. This older dude shows up, gets in the car, and the same exact thing happened to him too. This made her fall apart even more and I got to say something like, damn, do you have another real man you can call? Lol, she was not happy about that. Damn, do you have another real man you can call? All worth it just for this moment. When she came over one day and heard me singing along to Françoise Hardy. She stated only gays or women would like French music from the 60s. Edit. We're actually good associates now, lol. Just some compatibility issues, not believing dinosaurs were real, despised suffrage? Etc. Glad to see a ton of Françoise Hardy fans. #RealTalk #hashtag Je veux qu'il revienne #check out Joe Dassin #another heavy hitter. I overheard a conversation between two girls in my class. One said her ex wasn't a real man because he started crying when she broke up with him. To make it even worse, the male teacher agreed. I, as a woman, have gotten shit on my husband's behalf because he likes to read. Apparently that's not manly. Meh, whatever. I'm good with it. We both like to read. She's not exactly saying that I'm not a real man. But she said that my friend farts manlier than me.